Hey everybody, this is a hack for if you currently have or don't currently have a steam room in your home, in your shower. You've converted it, let's say, or you didn't convert it yet, and or you have an infrared sauna, or you're thinking about getting one. So this is a hack to basically get what is called exercise with oxygen training health benefits. That's a mouthful. And so uh, if you want to do a little bit of looking around and stuff like that, it's EWOT is the abbreviation for exercise with oxygen training. It's becoming very, very popular next 10 to 15 years. I believe it'll be one of the most popular health benefit slash training sort of things to do in general because it's very affordable, and some of the best therapies out there are oxygen therapies. If you have a disease or you just want to be healthy in general, your cells need oxygen, okay? And everything comes back to these core electron transport chain processes, okay? The core mechanics of how your cells work. So if you have an infrared sauna or traditional sauna, or you're thinking about getting one, or a steam room, how do you make it way better for you, way healthier, okay? How do you get more benefits? Simple. You get yourself an oxygen concentrator, okay? Now an oxygen concentrator concentrates the ambient air, okay, to 94 to 97% oxygen, okay? And normally the air is a mixture of carbon and some other carbon dioxide and some other sorts of gases. And the oxygen concentration is around like 18 to 22%, let's just say, somewhere in that range, depending on your climate and your environment. Okay, so but what about the exercise portion? I mean, we get the oxygen portion, right? Okay, but the exercise, if you're in an infrared sauna or you're in a steam room, are you going to be exercising? So first off, in an infrared sauna, let me just throw that out there. In an infrared sauna, if you have a big enough sauna, you can actually ride a stationary bicycle for this type of hack, or something else like that that's in a small space. That is an option, by the way. You don't have to, though. What I'm going to describe here is how you can get the exercise with oxygen training portion without having to do like a physical exercise, okay? So when you're sitting in a steam room or you're sitting in an infrared sauna or a regular traditional sauna, you're not generally exercising, right? You're just sitting there. Now, as I always advise, by the way, at least what you should do, ideally, before you getting into a steam room or infrared sauna or whatever, is do some sort of lymphatic stimulation, exercise, rebound, whole body vibration machine, something like that. Just do something before and then go in. Okay, you'll get better results. But while you're sitting in there, what happens? As your core body temperature rises, we've all noticed that we start to sweat. We're trying to cool down our body system. We notice that our heart rate and our respiratory rate, our circulation, all that kind of stuff increases, right? These effects are right on par with similar effects that we have when we're exercising, right? There's an increased demand by the cells for the respiration needs, the heart's increasing, all that kind of stuff, right? We're warming up. Same thing. Caloric expenditure is going up. So when you warm yourself up, steam room, infrared sauna, similar effects to exercise, except you're just sitting there or stretching or something like that, right? So what we want to do is take advantage of that window where your demands on the body, your respiratory metabolic needs are increasing, okay? And that's the key that we've seen that when we look at the research going back a few decades, exercise with oxygen training, that's where we see we get all those results and those extra health benefits, is taking advantage of bringing in extra concentrated oxygen when our body needs it most, or could utilize it more so than before exercise or before going in the steam or infrared sauna, okay? Our demands on the body, our stress response, our needs, our energy resource needs are of course fundamentally less when we're not exercising or we're not in an infrared sauna or steam room, right? So again, when you give yourself that pure oxygen in those moments you need it most, your whole system is upgrades. It adapts to a higher level of efficiency than it was working at before. Okay, and we could of course go on and on and on more about the health benefits themselves, right? And oxygen therapy, just Google that, oxygen therapy benefits, the role of oxygen in the cells. You can very quickly see, this has been studied for decades, just the role of oxygen therapies, and that it's incredible for almost any condition you can list or name. Or just, I want to be healthier than I am currently, just in general. I want more energy, anything, whatever it is. So that's pretty much it. You need a prescription, which is very easy to obtain, by the way, for an oxygen concentrator. And I even have somebody, an associate of mine, who does over-the-phone consultations, if you need to get one that way. All you're going to do simply, and of course I'm not a doctor here, and you have to consult with your doctor, especially if you're on any sort of blood pressure or blood thinning medications, things like that. You just want to double check this all with the doctor, okay? And if you have any other cardiovascular issues, things like that, again, always check with the doctor. But when you get a concentrator, then essentially you're just going to wear the mask, and inside the steam room and or inside the infrared sauna. It doesn't get any easier than that. You're just going to pretty much breathe the concentrated oxygen, okay, while you're doing your session. Most people do a session of 15 minutes to an hour, depending on steam room or infrared. Most people spend longer in the sauna, okay? How do you push yourself to a higher threshold? Meaning, how do you get more of like the exercise sort of increased demands? You simply stay in the steam room or stay in the infrared sauna, traditional sauna, for longer, right? We all know when we reach that point, right? We're like, oh my gosh, I'm sweating too much, I'm getting overheated, whew, you know, it's really getting intense in here, like I think I'm gonna get out, right? There's a reason why you need to get out, okay? And just like exercise, you know, we reach that point where we're like, oh, I'm done, I'm tired, or I'm out of breath, or whatever it is, I'm overheated, I can't do this anymore, okay? Same type of thing. Now again, you always want to check with your doctor with this. Make sure you're healthy and can do something like this. I don't want anybody passing out and dying, right? You know, because of something that they didn't pay attention to. I'm certainly not a doctor here, but what I can tell you is that one of the safest forms of exercise with oxygen training is more of a passive mode. So in general, what I'm describing to you is utilized more commonly at centers and clinics where people are very sick and their immune systems are very suppressed and they can't really do active exercise, okay? So, but they still want to benefit from EWOT. They still want to benefit from this oxygen therapy, so they do something more passively. Now, the best type of equipment ever created for this type of thing and beyond is the HOCATT, H-O-C-A-T-T, which you'll see on my website. For most people at home, though, and this is what this hack is really described more for, for some people it's too expensive. For some people who are very sick, they clearly see, the benefits and buy the HOCATT. It's a great investment, and if it completely gives them back their state of health and life, it's well worth it, and a lot of people buy it. But if it's just going to be too far out of the budget, you can get just some benefit here. It's not quite the same as HOCATT, but there's some similarity as far as breathing in the concentrated oxygen and getting your respiratory demands up, because in the HOCATT also has a steam effect and infrared effect simultaneously. Okay, and also ozone on top of that, and you can do the concentrator. Anyways, you can read about it. But for this, if you just already have your steam room, your infrared sauna, I definitely recommend when you reach that threshold of feeling like you want to get out. Obviously, if you're getting dizzy and you really don't feel well, you always want to get out of your steam room or your infrared sauna, of course. You always got to listen to the body. But what you'll notice that when using the concentrator, and you can time yourself, okay? Keep all the settings the same, the temperature and the time that you're in the steam room or the infrared sauna. Keep everything the same. And what you'll actually notice is that even that first, second session with the concentrator, you're able to much more easily go for longer. Just longer session time without feeling like you want to get out. So there's your sign that you're already getting the benefits, that your cells are already working more efficiently. Okay, it's noticeable for everybody that I've recommended this to and who has followed this protocol, by the way. By the time you're in that third, fourth, fifth, sixth session, it's amazing. You're already feeling completely different. You'll notice that you could stay in there 3-4 times longer. Not a big deal at all if you want to. Your path of progression is a lot faster. And so you'll notice that you can push yourself, just like exercise. Your threshold goes up, okay? And that's generally for the person that just wants to be healthier and healthier and healthier. You just keep on pushing yourself, always in balance and always methodically. And you always want to see how you feel. So it's not like you jump from like, I'm going to do 5 extra minutes today, because I'm Superman. That would be an example of getting a little too gung-ho and going too fast. If anything, you always want to increase by probably no more than a minute. Because remember, you're going to be doing this often for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you have years of therapy to go, or years of this type of conditioning. So just a minute is good enough, okay? And that'll sometimes stay the same or go down or go up depending on what you were eating, how you were sleeping. I mean, there are other variables here, how much stress you're under. So you just want to take it easy. But you just try to increase by a minute and see how you go. Some people, if your immune system is very depressed, then you'll want to increase for less time, 30 seconds. And get a stopwatch if you have to, and just time yourself, okay? And just take your time. And then seeing how you feel that next day on this type of more intense EWOT training, take a day off. Take 2 days off if you have to. Again, you always want to see how you feel, okay? There's no sort of recommended program like, oh, you have this condition? Well, you're going to need this amount of time and take this day off and do that. That doesn't exist, okay? People ask me, like, what should I do for my timing schedule when I have this, this, and this? I don't know. And I'm certainly not going to tell you just because of health risks alone, okay? You're your best detective. You are the one who's going to assess, see how you feel. Everybody is different. Yeah, I guess if I gave somebody $10,000 worth of medical diagnostics, I could probably, be a little bit more detailed. But unfortunately, that's not a realistic scenario here. And you don't need it, honestly. You just take your time and pace yourself, and you just slowly increase over time, and if you feel better and better, great. Things are going well. Keep on pushing yourself. That's it. And you don't have to keep on pushing yourself per se, by the way. If you reach a certain new level of health and you're happy there, just keep yourself there. That's fine. You don't have to keep on pushing yourself. If you have great energy levels all day, great. Do you need more energy? Not necessarily. Just keep yourself there. That's fine. If you're a performance athlete, or you're just like a super health geek like me, and you just want to keep pushing and see how good you can feel, yeah, you can just keep pushing yourself forever. I mean, that's fine. But anyways, that's pretty much all I had to share about this. This is a very affordable way to just basically take some existing well-known therapies. I mean, everybody has heard of a steam room, everybody's heard of a sauna or infrared sauna, and just taking it to the whole other level with the oxygen. I strongly recommend this is something people consider, because oxygen is one of those core things. There's a million products out there that I could recommend and talk about that I think are awesome. There's so many cool ones. But from a financial standpoint, from a priority and what's going to give you the best ROI on your health, return on investment, oxygen therapy, okay? Oxygen therapy. and you can pick up an oxygen concentrator for $1,000, for $1,500. Good ones within that range. Okay, so as you talk to me about these different types of products, we'll go over brands, we'll go over models, just all that kind of stuff. And in general, also, some people want to get multiple products, and I can usually work on getting like a combined group discount for multiple items if somebody wants to do like a complete package and protocol for their business, for home, things like that. But anyways, send an email response to me. Let me know when you're available to speak, what time zone you're in. You can set up an appointment that way. And or you can try to reach me by phone. If you get lucky, I might pick up. Anyways, happy to share this information with you. Take care.